Close your eyes for a second and picture this. It's late at night. Your phone's blowing up with debt collector voicemails. And you're staring at a credit card statement that feels like a punch to the gut. $10,000. $20,000. Maybe more. Your bank account's in the red. Bills are stacking up like a house of cards. And every time you check your mailbox, it's another reminder you're sinking. Your heart's racing. Your mind's screaming. How did I get here? How am I ever gonna get out? If this is you, if debt's got you trapped in a cycle of stress, shame, and fear, stop. Don't scroll away. Right now, I'm handing you a lifeline. I'm about to break down the 3 golden rules to not just survive crushing debt, but to fight back, take control, and build a path to financial freedom. These aren't fluffy motivational quotes or get-rich-quick schemes. These are the exact, battle-tested strategies I used to dig myself out of $35,000 in debt, credit cards, car loans, you name it, when I was dodging calls and praying for a miracle. They've worked for thousands of others. From single moms to college grads to small business owners. And they'll work for you. Whether you owe $5,000 or $50,000. Debt isn't just money, it's a weight on your soul. A cloud over your dreams. But you're stronger than you feel right now. And I'm here to prove it. Spend the next 12 minutes with me. And I'll give you a step-by-step plan to face your debt head-on and come out on top. You ready to change your story? Let's dive in. Let's kick things off with the toughest but most liberating step. Face the monster. Debt is like a shadow that follows you everywhere, every late-night worry. Every declined card. Every time you skip a bill to pay another. Ignoring it doesn't make it go away, it makes it grow. I know because I lived it. For years, I shoved unopened bills in a drawer, thinking, if I don't see it, it's not real. But every month, those interest charges piled on, and my stress skyrocketed. Facing your debt is like stepping into a boxing ring with a heavyweight champ. It's intimidating. But it's the only way to land a punch. Here's how you do it. Grab a notebook, open a Google Sheet, or download a free app like Mint, YNAB, or Debt Payoff Planner. Your mission is to list every single debt you owe, no matter how small or how embarrassing. That $8,000 credit card? Write it down. The $25,000 student loan? On the list. That $600 medical bill from last year? Don't skip it. Even the $150 you borrowed from your coworker for rent, put it in. For each debt, jot down 3 key details. The balance, how much you owe. The interest rate, that's the real killer. And the minimum monthly payment. This list is your debt map, your battle plan. Let's paint a picture with a real story. Back in 2016, I was a mess. $18,000 on a Visa card at 23% interest. $9,000 on a MasterCard at 19%. A $6,000 car loan at 5%. And $2,000 in random bills I'd been dodging. I was terrified to face it, thinking, if I see the total, I'll lose it. But one night, I hit my breaking point. I sat down with a cheap notebook and a calculator. And it took me 2 hours to list it all. When I saw that $35,000 total, I felt sick, but then, something shifted. Here's the going up. Writing it down gave me clarity. I wasn't guessing anymore. I knew exactly what I was up against. And that knowledge was power. My client, Maria, had $85,000 in debt, mostly student loans and medical bills. She avoided it for a decade, thinking, it's too big to handle. When she listed it, she discovered one credit card was charging her $2,400 a year in interest alone. Facing it cut her anxiety and gave her a starting point. Now, the going down. If you don't face your debt, it controls you. Interest compounds, late fees stack up, and your credit score takes a nosedive. Maria was hit with $300 in penalties every month because she ignored bills. That's $3,600 a year. Money she could have used to pay down her debt. Ignoring it also messes with your head. Every phone call, every bill in the mail becomes a trigger. And that stress spills into your relationships, your work, your sleep. Facing the monster isn't about feeling good, it's about taking back your power. Pause this video, start your debt list, and come back. It's the first step to freedom. You've faced the monster, huge props for that. Now it's time to arm yourself with rule number 2. Slash and prioritize. This is where you get surgical with your money and strategic with your payments. First, let's talk slashing. Your expenses are like a leaky bucket. Every dollar you waste is a dollar you can't use to fight debt. Pull up your bank statement from the last 30 days and go line by line. That $15 Hulu subscription you forgot about? Cancel it. Those $7 daily Starbucks runs? Switch to a $1 home brew. That $80 cable package? Ditch it for a $10 streaming service. I'm not saying you can't enjoy life. But right now, every cut is a bullet in your debt-killing arsenal. Let's break it down with a real example. My friend, Carlos, was $45,000 in debt, credit cards, a car loan, and some personal loans. He was spending $150 a month on streaming and apps, $300 on dining out, $100 on ride shares, and $50 on random subscriptions. That's $600 a month, $7,200 a year. He slashed it all, kept one streaming service for $10, cooked at home, used public transit, and dropped unused apps. That freed up $500 a month. Here's the going up. Carlos redirected that $500 to his debt, paying off a $6,000 card in just 12 months. He felt like a warrior, taking control of his money for the first time in years. The going down? If you don't slash, you're throwing money away. Carlos's $7,200 a year could have paid off a 20% interest card. But instead, it was funding DoorDash and Netflix. Without cuts, you're stuck in a cycle, paying minimums, barely keeping up, and watching interest eat you alive. Look at your spending today. Find one thing to cut. Maybe it's $5 a day on snacks. That's $150 a month. $1,800 a year. That's real money to fight your debt. Now, let's prioritize your payments. You've got limited cash, so you need to hit the debt that hurts most. I swear by the avalanche method. Pay the minimum on all your debts. Then throw every extra dollar at the one with the highest interest rate. Why? That's the debt growing fastest. Like a weed choking your finances. A $7,000 card at 25% interest costs you $1,750 a year in interest alone. Compare that to a 3% student loan, it's a different beast. Take my client, Jessica. She owed $30,000, $12,000 at 24%, $10,000 at 16%, and $8,000 at 4%. Using the avalanche method, she paid minimums on the low-interest debts and funneled $600 a month to the 24% card. In 22 months, it was gone, saving her $2,800 in interest. That's the going up. You save big and build momentum. Jessica said, seeing that card hit zero felt like winning the lottery. The going down? If you spread your payments evenly, you're losing ground. Jessica could have paid $200 to each debt, but that 24% card would have kept growing, costing her $4,000 more in interest over time. If the avalanche feels daunting, try the snowball method. Pay off the smallest debt first for quick wins. My buddy, Alex, had $22,000 in debt. He started with a $2,000 medical bill, paid it off in 5 months, and that victory fueled him to tackle bigger debts. The going down here? If you don't prioritize, you're stuck in slow motion, paying forever. Pick avalanche or snowball, but pick something. You're not just paying debt, you're outsmarting it. We're at rule number 3. And this is where you go from surviving to dominating. Hustle for freedom. Slashing expenses is your defense, but hustling is your offense. To crush debt fast, you need more cash, period. That means side hustles, negotiations, and a safety net. Let's start with hustling. Pick up a gig that fits your life. Drive for Uber on weekends. Tutor math on Preply. Sell old clothes on Poshmark. Or freelance graphic design on Fiverr. Every extra dollar goes straight to your debt, no exceptions. Let's get real with a story. When I was buried in $35,000 of debt, I worked nights as a bartender, pulling in $500 a month. That's $6,000 a year, all going to my 22% credit card. It was grueling, late nights, sore feet, but every paycheck felt like a middle finger to my debt. My client, David, owed $65,000. Mostly student loans and credit cards. He started delivering for Instacart, earning $700 a month. In 2 years, he paid off $16,800, money you wouldn't have had without hustling. That's the going up. Extra income is your rocket fuel. David said, I went from hopeless to unstoppable. The going down? If you rely only on your 9 to 5, you're moving too slow. David's $65,000 would have taken 20 years to pay off without his side hustle. That's a lifetime of stress, missed opportunities, and deferred dreams. Find a hustle you can start this week. Even $200 a month shaves months off your debt. Next, negotiate with your creditors. This is a game changer most people skip. Call your credit card company, student loan provider, or medical bill office. Ask for a lower interest rate, a payment plan, or a settlement. Be honest. I'm committed to paying, but I need help. Data shows 80% of people who negotiate get relief, lower rates, waived fees, or extended terms. My friend, Tina, owed $20,000 on a 21% credit card. She called, shared her struggle, and got her rate dropped to 11%. That saved her $2,000 a year. The going up. Negotiating puts cash back in your pocket. Fast. The going down? If you don't negotiate, you're overpaying, sometimes by thousands. Tina could have been stuck with that 21% rate, bleeding $4,200 a year in interest. Creditors want you to pay, so they'll often work with you, but you have to ask. Script it out, practice, and call this week. Worst case? They say no and you're no worse off. Finally, build a baby emergency fund, $500 to $1,000. This is your shield against life's chaos. Cars break down, kids get sick, roofs leak. Without a cushion, you're one emergency away from new debt. Stash this money in a separate savings account. Online banks like Ally or Chime are great, and only touch it for true emergencies. When I was in debt, I had no fund. A $700 visit forced me to borrow again, setting me back months. My client, Maria, saved $800 while paying her $85,000 debt. When her car needed $600 in repairs, she paid cash and kept moving forward. That's the going up. An emergency fund keeps you safe and focused. The going down? No fund means every crisis is a debt trap. Maria results could have added $600 to her credit card, plus 20% interest, digging her hole deeper. Start small. $25 a week gets you to $500 in 5 months. It's not sexy, but it's your lifeline. Let's bring it home. Fam, the 3 golden rules to survive crushing debt. Face the monster. List every debt to reclaim control. Slash and prioritize. Cut expenses to the bone and attack high-interest debt with the avalanche or snowball method. Hustle for freedom. Grind with side hustles. Negotiate with creditors. And build a $500 emergency fund to stay safe. Debt is a brutal opponent, but you're built for this fight. I've been where you are, $35,000 in the hole. Dodging calls, feeling like I'd never escape. But I did, and so will you. This isn't about perfection, it's about progress. Pick one rule to start today. Maybe it's writing your debt list or canceling that $12 app you don't use. Every step is a win, and every win builds your confidence. You're not alone, I'm with you. And so is this community. Drop a comment below. Which rule are you tackling first? Share your debt story. I read every single one, and I'm cheering you on. Smash that like button if this lit a fire in you. And subscribe for more raw, real money hacks. We're not just surviving debt, we're building a life of freedom. $1 at a time. You've got this. Let's make it happen.